a lot of times when I do, where people get on here, I'll ask them if they have, because a lot of people use their phone,
Mhm.
and I'll ask them if they have like a headset or earbuds or something, because when I'm talking, they have me on speakerphone, so I can
Right.
hear the echo, and then sometimes the echo kind of like does that noise cancellation thing on their phone, so that I
Mhm.
can't hear them talk, and so I'm
Yeah,
always
just that
appreciative.
lag.
Yes.
It's super annoying. Trust me, I hear it all the time, and it's just like,
Oh yeah.
I do got a question because I'm part of like so many other channels, and they're blowing it up. Like, can you hear that like by
Nope.
chance or not? Okay,
Not at all.
perfect. All right, because I was just worried for that. I was just like, I was like, guys, I just need y'all to shut up, please, for a little bit, so that way I can talk to this man without hearing ba-doop, 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 ba-doop.
Oh
Like
yeah.
every 5 seconds. I'm just like, jeez.
No, what I do for mine, if I get notifications, I turn my volume, my actual
Mm-hmm.
speaker volume down on my PC, and so then I don't hear anything that comes up. But
Right.
and then I don't have it coming through here.
Mm.
So if you have it come through your headphones, I can't hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I guess that's perfect then. I mean, I guess what I could just do for the time being is just mute everything and then just turn it back on later.
Oh yeah, I mean that's up to you, but I can't hear it. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you can't hear it, but it's just I'm going to hear it, and then that's just going to throw off if you're asking me something, and I'm just like,
Absolutely.
I'll just be like, yeah, so this is what happened. And sorry, notification.
Yeah,
Anyways,
like what? I do the same
so
thing. In fact, I'm glad you said that because last night I did uh, a podcast, and I always remember to shut my phone on silent or whatever, and I
mhm.
forgot to last night. I was like, and so when it buzzed, it started dinging. I was like,
Yeah,
wait, what? That can't be my phone. I always turn it off. But anyway, so I just now put it on silent.
yes, and I'm glad you say that because now I have my phone right there, so now I went ahead and put that on silent,
Oh
so
yeah,
that way I don't get distracted by anything, and I'm muting all. Well, I'm not in a whole lot of servers, but I mean, I'm glad to just go ahead and just get all this taken care of for right now, and that should be the last one,
yeah. I
and
joined.
perfect.
I didn't really join. Well, after we started our Discord, and when I started talking to people on here, they
Hmm.
had their Discord, so I would join theirs. So I'm part of 5 or 6 as well, and from just friends or whatever. And yeah, so I think when I go in there, I think I mute all of the notifications,
Hmm.
because any kind of message that comes up, normally it's blowing your phone up.
Oh, it's nonstop because I think I'm in 9 or 10 different
Wow,
servers. Yeah, because like I'm friends with a whole lot of other people who do YouTube and everything like that. So I join their discords, and I have my own Discord server as well. So I mean, I just do a whole lot of all that. So
for sure. Well, that's the thing too. I don't, when I message people on here, I don't know if they have their own Discord or whatever. Actually, I did know on yours, because you have that link tree thing or whatever on your Instagram.
Mhm.
I did know that. I forgot about it. But normally, I mean, I don't care if somebody joins ours, I can join theirs. Or I've done a call on here with Skype, so one of the girls in the UK Discord, like it was kind of lagging for her.
Mhm.
So we switched over to Skype, and it was perfect.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, I'm open to whatever.
I got you. Yeah, I have. Geez, that's a throwback right there because I haven't I haven't used or touched Skype in such a long time. Like it's been forever.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. So, and the other thing too, like people on their PC, I don't know if, I'm sure you already know this, but on here you can pop out the call
Hmm.
window, and then do a grid screen or a grid view. And it puts both our screens or both our views kind of equal size, so that
What is it like pop out or I'm still kind of familiar with trying to
yeah,
I'm still kind of new to Discord, so
that's cool. Yeah, it took me a while to learn that, but if you're looking at the call, and you see the arrow. I think it should be somewhere around the bottom of this of your.
There, okay, there we go. All right, I got it. I
Yeah,
got it. Yes, there we
pop
go. That's
out, and then
perfect.
you use the grid view. That way, my screen's not like giant in your face.
Okay.
It makes it. I think it makes it more, more like a FaceTime. Hey, I'm just chatting with somebody. Than
Mhm. Right.
than my screen really huge on your screen, or my face on your screen.
Right.
But so anyway, welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Thanks. Yeah, it's so I have to tell you, I've been following you on Instagram for a little while,
Mhm.
and all I never clicked on any of your stuff in your bio. Okay. I was, looking at your pictures, liking those as you'd post or stories or whatever. And I think it was yesterday. So this is after we already scheduled the podcast.
Mhm.
I saw your link tree thing when I looked at all your links, and I was like, Spotify, what, okay, he's got a Spotify playlist. All right, cool. Clicked on it because I use Spotify as well. In fact, these podcasts, I stripped the audio off, put it on, iTunes, Spotify, all that kind of shit.
Right.
So I looked at your thing and I was like, I think that first song, is that him? And I clicked,
No.
dude, it was a rap song. And I was like, I think that's you. So I went, you have your
Yeah.
own Spotify channel that
Hmm.
that you sing.
Well, okay, so yeah, that was an old part of me. So before I started focusing more on content creating on the airsoft side of YouTube, I used to be a rapper, and it's something I've always wanted to do growing up as a kid. But it's like I had a deal, I did it, my own distribution deal and everything. But then it started getting a little bit too toxic and for my well-being, and it's like, it really just wasn't for me. And so as kind of just going on, I'm just like, well, I guess I just, I want to do something. So I wanted to get into filmmaking, and or some stuff like that, short films, because a lot of people who did my music videos, I'm still good friends with to this day.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, yeah, maybe I could just try to get involved with something like that. And then I got like a couple GoPros and all that, and then I was just like, man, I've been in. Maybe I should try out airsoft, because I mean, I've been playing airsoft for about 16 years, on and off.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time, but I started doing it a lot more. I do it a more professionally for the past 3 years,
Okay.
and I guess that's kind of like, and that's where the Myster OT part comes in, because it's like, gosh, I really don't want to come up with another name. I'm just going to take the off-topic part, and I'm just going to put OT, Myster OT, make it simple. It sounds like a YouTube channel already, so it's like, bang, bada bing, bada boom, made it simple for myself.
Right. And then you have Forever Off Topic, right?
So Forever Off Topic was my brand. Was actually going to be like my label, but
Okay.
then eventually I kind of want to make it like a clothing deal, which
Hmm.
I don't really talk about as much, because I have like oh gosh, what is it called? But I have like a site, and it will have like my merch and everything like that. And it's like a supply and demand. And the best thing is, it's like I don't have to pay out of pockets. They're like a
Right.
supply and demand deal. So
Yeah, like one of the ship to or ship on demand kind of things,
Mhm.
like Printify or something like that.
Store Frontier, that's what it's called. Store Frontier.
Gotcha.
That's who I used back when I was doing music. And I'm like, okay, maybe I could try to see if I can do a little bit with it as I progress into YouTube, in which I'm actually surprised that a few people have been buying some shirts, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I actually clicked on that. You had a merch thing on your Linktree thing, and I clicked on that, and I stalked all your stuff on there. Okay, in the last day. So
It's okay. I've been watching your podcast, so I know you're quote unquote stalking. So I was like, I was
right.
prepared, and I was just like, in my back of my head, I'm just like, gosh, I'm just gonna wait for him when he says it. I was like, so you're a rapper?
So yeah, that was well, the reason I brought it up is because I didn't know that when I asked you to the podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, airsoft, and then you got this wide background of other things. You know, you got the merch stuff going on, this forever off topic thing with you
Mm,
know, cool shirts and stuff like that.
right.
So yeah, I mean, I had to ask because that was, you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, the thing is, a lot of people who meet me, I'm a very open individual, so it's like, I'm not afraid of a question, so it's just like, it might catch me off guard, but like, I'm very open, so it's
Hell
like
yeah.
I was prepared, so I was just waiting for when.
Nice. Now on that picture on your Spotify,
hmm
what is that? I couldn't tell what it was. It was. It looks cool, by the way. But is it sunglasses with a third eye up here?
Right, yes,
Okay.
yes.
How did that come up?
Okay, so I found um, I think I actually got those like on the 1 year anniversary of Prince's death. And yeah, because like they were, it was talked about like the glasses because everybody, when you think of Prince, you obviously will think about the third-eyed sunglasses. And there was a company out in Las Vegas. Um, I eventually was like their very first sponsor as a music artist, using them because I went and purchased a pair, and then all of a sudden they started following me. We kind of just stayed in touch, and it's like, hey, we'll start sending you stuff and just shout us out. I'm just like, cool, you got it.
That's cool. Hell yeah. Yeah. My
But
wife and I are. We were big Prince fans. So I
oh,
wondered if
really?
that. Yeah. I didn't want to say it, but I, you know, when I saw those sunglasses, I was like,
Mhm.
you know, maybe that's part of it.
Oh yeah, no, my family, especially like my mom and dad, they're huge 80 nerds. So it's like
Yeah.
that's all we will have is just nothing but 80s classics just playing. So Prince was definitely on that roster. So it's
Sure.
just so yeah. So I listen to Prince a lot through the household and everything. So
Gotcha. My wife and I are going to a Megadeth concert tomorrow night.
nice. That's going to be awesome.
Oh
They're
yeah.
they're touring with what, Lamb of God, aren't they?
Yep.
Nice. That's going to be a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
So so my son, one of my sons, Coltrane, who's on our YouTube channel with us, he him and I went to Trivium. We went to see Trivium up in
Mm.
North Carolina. We stay in South Carolina. We went there, I don't know, 4 years ago or something, maybe 5 years ago, whatever. But we went up there to see Trivium. Well, when I got tickets to this concert, I invited him to go because he likes that kind of music. And then, like 2 weeks after I told him about it, my wife's like, "Well, why didn't you ask me to go?" I'm like, "What? You don't like Megadeth? What are you talking about?" I mean, my wife and I have been together for 30 years. We got married when I was still in the military back in we got married in 92, and I still had, 2 years left in the Marine Corps. So I was listening to Metallica, Megadeth, all that kind of shit.
Right.
So she's used to it, but she wouldn't choose to listen to that on her own. So when she was like, I want to go to that, I'm like, what? So I told Colton, I said, hey, mom wants to go to this thing. He's like, what? She doesn't like that. So so I said, hey, listen, let me play you some songs of what's going to be playing there tomorrow night. And so I played In Waves by Trivium,
Mhm.
and then a couple songs from Lamb of God. She's like, okay, I could get, I could get into that. I'm like,
She can get
oh,
with it. She can get with
yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what's happened? Like we have 5 kids. They're all grown. So my youngest one is 21 or 20, sorry. And so all our kids are in their 20s. So they started leaving the house here in the last couple of years. They're all moving out. And so she's always looking for something to do. So
Right.
now she's like, I'm not a mom, like full time anymore. So, what are you doing? Oh, I want to go. So I was like, okay, you could go to Megadeth concert. It's cool, whatever.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's just Megadeth, Lamb of God. Come on now.
Yeah. you know.
Come on, bring the whole family. It'll be a whole family-friendly environment and all together.
Oh,
Bring the
Jesus.
kids.
You know, I was talking to a guy a couple weeks ago, and he likes similar kind of music, and he was saying he went to a Gore concert. So I've heard of
Or,
Gore. Yeah, I think it's
hmm,
Gore, and I guess they're known for doing like these huge like displays where they do. He was telling us about or he was telling me about the concert. He was like, they do this thing where they have this thing. It's like a fire hose that shoots out like fake blood, and no matter where you're at in the arena, even in the back, you're getting hit with this stuff. And
oh, nice.
all kind, yeah, they're doing all kind of like, this whole display like that. But yeah, can you imagine bringing?
That's
I would love.
yeah, that's pretty metal, dude.
I'll take my wife and be like, "Oh yeah, they're pretty mild, don't worry about it." And then all this shit's going on, fire and blood, and
Oh, jeez.
oh my god, oh
I
yeah,
mean, if you don't develop PTSD from that, I don't know what you can,
right? Well, how did you, when you grew up? Did you grow up in Tennessee where you're at?
Yeah, so I was born in Memphis, and but I'm Mississippi raised because I'm like right outside of Memphis, like 20 minutes south, in Olive Branch. So I've always said I'm a Memphisipian. So I was Memphis
Nice,
born, Mississippi raised. So
gotcha. Yeah, my daughter was stationed in Mississippi, so we've been there a few times over the
oh, what
last
part?
5 years. Columbus.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so she worked at Columbus Air Force Base. She was in the Air Force for 4 years, and we went down there and visited her. I don't know, 5, 6 times.
Hmm.
So that area, there's really nothing around that base, but it's similar weather to what we're used to here in South Carolina. But it was she didn't like it there because she wanted to travel. She went in the military to try to kind of like travel. So she was stuck in that one base for 4 years. But
Oh,
yeah, she went to Biloxi and a couple other places, like beaches and stuff. But yeah, she was like, I didn't like Mississippi.
well, I mean, first off, if you go to the beaches in Biloxi, I mean, there's really nothing there. Like, I'm not gonna like our beaches suck. Like, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna tell that it's like I like. Here's the thing: I've never heard anybody say like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Mississippi to go down to the beach." Like, that's
no,
just no,
I
you
haven't
don't
either.
do that. Like Floribama and stuff like that. When you go down
Right.
there, like, yeah, and Texas even, but no, you Mississippi beaches it's boring. It's
Yeah.
don't recommend. No, 0 out of 10.
So when you were growing up, did you got into like what was your music influence? Like what kind of directed you into want to be a rapper and before you got into airsoft or I guess during you got into airsoft and all that kind of shit?
Yeah. Okay. So basically, with when it came to the music, I am a huge Linkin Park fan.
Okay.
So I got my inspiration to start rapping from Mike Shinoda. So that was like my go-to because a lot of people, when they assume like a white boy rapper, they're automatically gonna pick Eminem. They're gonna
Eminem.
automatic
That's it.
like they're always going to either pick that or I've even asked if about Beastie Boys and stuff like that, which
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, which I'm like, if you say Beastie Boys first, I'll be like, hey, I'll give you credit because you got class, you got
Right.
taste.
Right.
But no, Mike Shinoda was actually my inspiration because I like the whole like rap and then rock and just a combination of the two and
Right.
how they merge within the electronic scene, but
Yeah.
while applying that element on both genres. I mean, it was a beautiful combination, if you ask me.
Hmm.
So really, that was kind of like my musical interest or influence was Linkin Park, and but growing up, like I've listened to like everything, like with my parents being I have nothing but 80s being played, like from Prince, Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye, and
Oh yeah.
then I listen to a lot of Linkin Park, and then just and it just goes on. And plus, I'm from Memphis, so like I always got to shout out 36 Mafia and Project Pat and all those
Nice.
guys, like and the funniest guys I've ever met, and like they're really cool dudes. So.
Hmm. So when you were doing that, so you got a chance to meet some of these people that were like kind of coming up in the music industry?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I actually got a chance to meet like a lot of like big named artists. Like I've met J. Cole, I've met Drake, I've met The Weeknd, I've met a lot of like big named people, and I actually still have contacts in the music industry today. Because what they'll try to tie me in a little bit because they know what I'm doing now, and it's
Yeah.
just like, hey, those those guns right there look pretty realistic, and this guy right here is trying to do a video, but he's got a felon. So can we borrow
Mm,
your stuff? So they'll contact me, and they'll rent out some of my guns to use for music videos and stuff like that. And plus, it'll make the director feel safe because they're not using real guns,
right.
which he's had that happen in the past where people like who if before I came into picture, they would just always have real guns, and
Yeah.
like he would be like, all right, line up, take clips out.
Yep.
I want to check, make sure there's nothing in the chamber, nothing in your magazine, nothing.
Yeah.
So, and then as soon as he sees that I'm doing airsoft, and see, because in his head, he's thinking like he's thinking about the clear Walmart brand, the see-through airsoft springers. But
Right.
then he sees like with the stuff I have, and then he's just like, dude, where'd you get all this stuff? Like, is this even legal? I'm
Oh,
just
that's
like,
funny.
yeah, dude. I'm like, dude, yeah, they just shoot 6 millimeter plastic BBs.
Yeah. Oh,
When he
that's
tells,
cool.
yeah, so when he tells me all that, he was just like, wait, this is airsoft? Like, you talk about like the stuff I see at Walmart, like that shoots those little green see-through I'm just like, we don't talk about the 12 gram BBs. Like, we don't use those.
I know, right? You give those to noobs, okay?
Absolutely.
Or to your girlfriend or wife as a prank when she has her own gun set to like .26 or .30s, and you fill her mags with .12s so that they're shooting like this all day. My gun's broke.
Or if you really want to be a dick, you can always load 12 gram in a 40 mic in one of those shower shells and just
Yeah,
yep, just do it just like that. I'm talking that's gonna sting just because of how light it is.
right. Yeah, those are we and some of our unboxing videos when we first started our channel. As we started getting more of them, we get in the mystery boxes. We'd get, some of those boxes, guns, whatever, would come with that little tiny bag of, 12s. And we're on camera, it's like, nope, those are trash. Throw them out. Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much. Pretty
Oh,
much.
yeah.
I always, unless if it's Tokyo Marui, I typically would just throw the BBs right out the door.
For real. Unless it's Tokyo Marie.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So TM BBs, like the BBs that you get in TM guns,
Yeah.
they're really good. Like they're high quality.
Even if they're like the
Like
one
from the
twos.
gun, yeah.
No
Yeah,
shit.
they're good. Yeah. Yeah, dude, they're great. It's because it's like like Tokyo Marui just works that little plastic magic that they do, even in their BBs.
Wow. Okay, see, I'm not experienced with that, I don't have very much experience in airsoft. So we've had a YouTube channel for 3 years. I ran the channel because I was coming out of being paralyzed for a couple
Mhm.
years. And my two of my sons, my older son, they're in their 20s, started playing airsoft 3 years ago. And I was like, hey, let me film your shit just so I could have something to do. So I my only experience, like hands on, is the mystery boxes and shooting them in the backyard. So there's a huge area of airsoft I don't know about, honestly.
Right.
So I know what HPA is. I know what I know a lot of the terms,
Hmm.
but like what you're talking about, I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't even know TM made their own BBs. I didn't even know that. We've never gotten any.
Right. No, I mean, I understand because let's see. Yeah, there's certain guns that TM will ship with their BBs. Like I think because I own three Tokamarui guns, and they came with two of those guns. I have a Mark 23 pistol that basically Novridge built off the silent pistol non blowback.
Yep.
I have the Mark 23. I also have a KSG shotgun that's gas powered. And recently, I just got myself a Glock 17 from Tokamarui.
Nice.
And oh my gosh, I took it out and used it for the first time last weekend, actually, when I was up in Missouri. And I got so many pistol kills with that thing. And I'm talking what I loved about it the most is the gas efficiency. I was able to
Really?
get like 85 shots off of one charge of gas from one magazine.
Wow. That is impressive.
Right, because like at first, like I would have an issue just going through one whole mag,
Right.
but it's because now this is going to be a turnoff for a lot of people, but the slide is plastic. It's a plastic
Yeah.
slide, but because the slide is plastic and it's lightweight, it's more fuel efficient.
Right. Well, see, these guys got the Novritsch pistol, uh, like the Mark 23, whatever that one is,
Yeah.
and it was when they first got it. It's non-blowback. It comes with that big, suppressor thing,
Hmm.
and we were out here shooting. It was my favorite gun. I was like, bro, this is awesome. They're like, we don't like it. It doesn't have blowback. I'm like, it's quiet, and this thing shoots fucking far as hell. Like,
Yeah,
what's not to like?
right, because even on the Tokimarui one, like completely stock, like I was shooting 3.2s with it, and I was still having such long range and of how quiet it is. It's just
Yeah.
like it's impressive and lightweight. I'm not a huge fan of how bulky it is because I mean, obviously, the real one's
Right.
a pretty big gun. So that's why I was just like, I'm gonna try something a little bit different. So when I got the Glock, and I used that all weekend, and I was using like I think it was like either 2.5s or 2.8s with it. I'm not
Mhm.
sure, but like it had so much range with that thing. I was impressed. I was really really impressed, and plus of the price that I paid for it, since Elite Force Umarex has the licensing for Glocks, so it's kind of
Mm.
hard to get any other Glock style or G series is what we used to call it back way back,
Yeah.
because they would have like a law, just because of a lawsuit type deal, because that's what Glock used to do. I remember, gosh, I think like 10 years ago, um, like Glock would sue any airsoft manufacturer if like they even made
Really?
their yeah. Oh, Glock was very greedy.
Oh shit.
They would not want to do any type of business with airsofters. It wasn't until um Magpul stepped into the picture. Magpul, I believe, was the first company to actually start licensing and helping out a lot of airsoft. They actually opened up their first airsoft branch to help out the airsofters because they obviously see people are modifying Magpul products to put on their airsoft guns, and they're just like,
Right.
well, why don't we just open up an airsoft branch division? And ever since then, a lot of other firearms manufacturers started doing that as well, as especially like 6 Hours, like the biggest one I could think of on top of my
Right.
head.
Yeah. I didn't know that about Magpul. Okay.
Yeah, Magpul was, I believe, was the first to ever open up a airsoft division within the firearms community
Yeah.
before a lot of other people stepped in, and then finally, like that's why people were really hyped up about the Glock when Elite Force announced it or first announced it, because like you really couldn't, like, the best way to get a Glock in is you have to get it imported overseas, because like in the US you just really can't do it
Mm, right.
without going through Umarex or Elite Force. So I just went and just got mine overseas, and with I don't know how or why, but I got it within like less than a week. Like I think like, yeah, 4 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Speedboats.
I mean, big speedboats, I'm telling you. Plus, I
That's
guess it's
funny.
because it was coming directly out of Hong Kong, and I guess because of the whole situation in Ukraine right now, they really have to go the other direction. So
Ah,
how it went, the process was it went from Hong Kong to Alaska to Louisville or Louisville, depending on how people pronounce it, and
yeah.
to Memphis. So it got in with like 4 to 5 days, and
That's crazy.
I know it was, but I was so happy when I saw that box. I was like, oh my god, it's here!
That is wild. So you have a big arsenal, it seems like, with all different types of guns that you use at different events.
I mean, typically I try to have a gun of each class.
Gotcha.
Because right now, let's see, I have an MCX that I had custom built from Northwest Airsoft. They just dumped a whole bunch of stuff in there, and it's just been like I'm shooting 4.0s. Like that's what I have to use with that with it, and I'm just taking like shots like over 100 meters away, maybe even a little bit further, like no problem
With four O's.
with 4.0s.
Holy
I
shit.
was over hopping on 3.6s.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Now what is this? What kind of
this is
gun?
it's a 6 hour MCX.
Yeah.
But I replaced Norwest, they replaced the gearbox with an HPA engine. It's got the F2 bipolar star.
Yeah.
And then I got a Prometheus 6.03 Type Bore, and then the Max Pro hop up unit.
Oh my God.
Oh, and then the maple leaf bucking that I had when I had the Novridge SSR 15, the first AEG that Novridge came out with.
Gotcha.
Yes, I pre-ordered that when they first announced it.
Okay.
So I miss it. That's one of my favorite rifles I ever owned, and I sort of hell miss it.
You got rid of it?
Yeah, I had to get rid of it. Just because I was trying to get it. I was kind of leaning into the HPA thing. I was just like, man, I really want to try HPA, but after using HPA, I love it. I mean it's fantastic. It's really good, but after a while, it's just kind of like, I just like the simple things. Just, plug in a battery and just go on out there. And then plus, not, which I never really had an issue with it, but, with the hose and everything like that, I never really
Right.
had an issue with that.
Yeah, I was surprised when these guys got into it and they were getting all these AEGs, and I'm like, why didn't they just, switch over from paintball, the airsoft thing, whatever. Like they were already using like paintball guns it's a really good setup, how it works. You got the tank on the back, you don't have to have a hose, right?
Right.
And it's all air, there's no moving parts. I mean, there's no gears, and it's quiet, and they shoot fast, and they're really consistent. And I don't remember any of my guys that I played, I played paintball for like 6 years after the military. I don't remember any of us having major issues with our Tippmann 98s, or like you buy a $200 gun or a $120 gun at that time and it runs all the time. Like it's fine. You
Yeah.
know, if you don't clean your barrel, you'll have paint break in it. That's a separate issue. The gun works fine.
Mhm.
So, uh, I was really surprised that Airsoft didn't that wasn't the standard from the beginning, and they have these gears and these gearboxes. A lot of them are shit and they, they mess up, and I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah, so then HPA, it seems like most people go to HPA. You don't really hear of too many people going from like, yeah, man, I had this really bad, badass like Polar Star gun or whatever, but I didn't like it, so I just went back to AEG. It usually doesn't happen.
Yeah, typically it doesn't happen, but for
Yeah,
me, but for me, it just really just kind of depends because it's more of like I just like having options. It's like
gotcha.
what am I feeling today? Do I want to bring the MCX? Do I want to use the KSG? Do I want to use the Glock? It's one of those things. It's kind of like what I'm feeling for and all that. So, um, but the thing is, HPA has been around since the beginning of airsoft, actually.
Oh, okay.
Because
I
it
didn't know
was
that.
a yeah, it was high, it started off, but it was high pressure air, but you would
Right.
have to actually pump it. Like you would like there were pump systems.
Mm.
There's actually a video explaining the history of airsoft that I'm
Oh,
gonna have.
okay.
I'm gonna have to send you a link to it because like when I was watching it, it's real like really really cool.
Oh, that's cool. I wonder who put that out.
Gosh, I'm trying to remember exactly who put it out. But I think he dropped that video last year, and then this year he made a part two of it, but that was kind of like going into like with Milsims and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
But
wild. Yeah,
but
I'll have to check
it's
that out.
really good, and I mean it's very funny too. But I mean it's very informative about like how airsoft actually started.
Yeah. Yeah, I never watched any of that. When these guys started, we were doing our first year, we put out 3 videos a week consistently. So all I did was film and edit, film and edit, film and edit. I didn't have time. I mean, I barely had time. I would watch other channels to kind of like get ideas on editing and stuff and filming, but I really wouldn't watch like other channels that I followed. I wouldn't watch like their a full video from their channel. I'd skip
Right.
through to see what kind of like, what I needed. And I mean, I was just focused on like making content, I guess. So it was they're still, even after 3 years and all these videos and all the stuff that these guys have gotten, and I've experienced holding these guns and whatever, like trying them out, testing them, reviewing them. There's still a ton. That's why I said earlier, there's still a ton in airsoft I don't know about. Like I didn't know the history of it, but that was my question in the beginning: was why didn't they just use? Why did they go to a gearbox when they already had a platform set up with, paintball that worked, pretty easily?
Well, okay, so from my understanding, the first AEG came out back in the 90s, I believe. It was Tokyo Marui.
Mm,
They were the first company to as far as my knowledge, they were the first to come out with an AEG. Their very first the very first AEG or automatic electric gun was the FAMAS. That was the very
uh,
first where it was just showing the gearbox and everything like that, because they were trying to compete with at the time it was with gas guns and how the way HPA was at the time because of the tank and regulator, and then with gas and everything,
yeah,
it was simple because like you just plug in a battery, you just put your BBs in a magazine, and you're ready to go as long as that battery's got enough juice.
gotcha.
So that's what really the premise of it, because after really start understanding a little bit more about HPA, I was
Yeah,
like, okay, I see why people switch to this, because it's less maintenance to do versus like an AEG. Uh, like I think like one of my friends says he all he does is just kind of just cleans the inner barrel and then just checks the engine out every 6 months, and he does extensive play.
gotcha.
So yeah, he just checks it out every 6 months or whatnot, and if it's doing good, then just shuts it back up and just keeps playing until something happens.
Yeah, yeah. I guess that makes sense because trying both of them here in the last couple years, the AGs are nice, especially on the field, because if you go out there and your battery's running low, just
Mhm.
swap your battery out and you keep running all day.
Right.
Uh, And in fact, these guys have talked about some of the mill sims. They've been to, I don't know, 9 or 10 mill sims in the past 3 years,
Hmm.
3-day events. And there's a lot of them where they'll have one battery, one, 11-1 LiPo. It lasts them the whole weekend, you know.
Oh yeah,
So,
those lipo batteries, they
yeah,
last a long time.
which may
They're,
not happen with air unless you got a bigger tank that you have to carry on your back. These, my son built one, Christian built one with the, a real small tank. I think it's a 12 ounce
Mhm.
tank in the, HPA in the stock that fit in the stock. And he was like, "Yeah, this wouldn't last. I would have to take 2 or 3 of these full with me to the event, to kind of finish out the event or whatever, so it won't run out because it's such a small tank.
Right, right.
Whereas AEG battery, you're good to go and you're done. I guess I can,
Exactly.
I see where that came from.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It's like, it's, I mean, because look, an HPA is going to always outrange an AEG hands down.
Right.
Like that's no question about it. But uh, sometimes when it comes down to it, it's like I much rather have the simplicity of of that from an AEG with HP versus HPA. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm always like if I do milsims, which let's see, I believe my next milsim is probably going to be in September, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, because typically during the summer is when I kind of like because I mean you should know about the southern heat down here. It's awful. The
Yeah.
humidity sucks.
Yeah, just I mean it's 95 with 90% humidity. Put on all your gear and go run around for 3 days. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not saying it's not possible, but
Oh, I know.
oh my God, but yeah,
It's uncomfortable for
it's,
sure.
yeah, because I did that. Gosh, I did Series Viking 3 back in September at the Guardian Center,
Who
and
puts
I
that
would
on? I haven't heard of that one.
that one was with Third Coast Airsoft.
No shit. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I go to a lot of Third Coast events.
The my first mil sim was 3 weekends. It was a Stonebreaker this year,
Oh,
just a few
nice.
weekends ago at GTI here in South Carolina, and I went with a press pass. Followed these guys. Well, I didn't follow them around, but
Hmm.
I took some pictures and videos, and so yeah, that was my first one. But that's Third Coast.
Yes,
So
yes,
I met
that's.
Sal and talked to him for a while.
Oh, Sal's a great guy. I
Yeah,
enjoy. I mean, he's he could be a pretty quiet guy. It's just like when you first meet him, it's like, hey, how are you doing? How you doing?
yeah,
Just real
yeah.
real quick. But
Right.
but man, that dude right there, he's a real cool dude. I've actually been in a talk with him a few times. Actually, mainly at the last time I was at GTI was in November for Operation Iron Dagger, and that was Third Coast first like 24-hour event. Like it was a full-on
Oh yeah.
like nonstop event.
Hmm.
And I was the CEO for Western, or well for one of the companies. I was the CEO for 13 Soft, so I was the special forces guy.
Oh, nice.
Because I did that for because no, that wasn't my first Milsim. Like the first Milsim I was able to complete was a Third Coast event, which was Bone Strike 5. And that was last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. In Vicksburg, where like it was at an abandoned hospital. Like a lot of people recognized it from Alphonse's video and everything like that. So it
Oh yeah.
was yeah, it was at that hospital. That was my very first like milsim I was able to complete.
Gotcha.
Now, my very first milsim ever was back when things were opening up from the pandemic. Um, the was Milsom West. I did Milsom West as my very first Milsom.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Big mistake. I mean, not no. Well, because I lasted maybe about like 9 hours,
Yeah.
like 8 or 9 hours, and it was because like it was intense.
Yeah.
Like that, like it is intense. So like when you had Soda on here, when they said that people can only last like maybe for only a few hours, I'm just like, yeah, she's talking about me. She gave me so much help for it. She was like, boo.
Oh, that's
Uh,
funny. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I saw one of your YouTube videos when I was looking at your channel. You had featuring Soda and a couple other people you mentioned in there, and you had
yeah.
some of her, like a piece of her video unboxing or whatever it was, on your video. It was cool.
Oh yeah, so what I did there was I had an idea because I saw a lot of other videos on um like with people how they film for their airsoft content.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I want to make, I always wanted to think outside the box and try to think different and creatively. So I was like, you know what? I got an idea. So I talked to Hell Yeah Airsoft, Joker Tactical, Fez Airsoft out in the UK, and Soda. I asked them. I said, "Hey, would you guys want to just do a video with me? I just need y'all to just say, hey, these are the cameras that I use. This is what I recommend. Here's a tip and tricks of editing videos." So I wanted to get like different YouTubers involved with it to because I know I'm different when it comes to editing videos, and they're
Yeah.
different. You're different from editing videos, so it's
Right.
like I kind of want to give the people who are wanting to watch that video just kind of give them like there's different ways and different options. There's not just my way. There's like check these guys out. Some of these are
Right.
not, they're not even using GoPros. Like um, Hell Yeah doesn't even use GoPro. He uses Insta360.
Oh yeah.
And those cameras are really nice.
Yeah, they
And
are.
he's like a wizard with his 360 camera. It was actually because of him I got inspired to get myself to get myself a mount for my 360 camera and
Yeah.
have it on my shoulder. Because what I was using it for originally was a selfie cam because it added such a different perspective in a selfie view,
Yeah.
so it's just kind of like just a really unique point of view.
Right.
It's just having a 360 camera as your selfie camera, and it worked very well. Like I was actually pretty shocked.
Yeah, the first time I saw, or at least that I know of, that I saw a video on that was a guy I did a podcast with a couple months ago, Gibbers. Gibbers plays airsoft. He was using it, and I went when I started before him and I did the podcast. I looked at his Instagram and YouTube channel, and he had some really cool shots on his Instagram of I think it was him and his girlfriend doing like kayaking and stuff.
Hmm.
And there were some great pictures and videos where there was this one. It was like way up high. It looked like it was way up high. Some kind of feature in the camera, I guess.
Hmm.
But like a world kind of view,
Oh yeah,
top down.
the worldview that or the
Dude,
yes.
that's crazy.
And the thing is, it's so easy to do that. Like you just
Yeah.
you just grab that 360 camera, you literally just take a picture, and then when you go into the GoPro app and just kind of like and when you edit your stuff on there,
Yeah.
like you could just control it right then and there, just on your fingertip, and
Oh shit. So you
it
don't
is
have to do that with the camera on site. Like you can just take a picture or a video and then do it in post, right? Or do it in
basically
editing.
yeah,
Really?
you could just edit that part like everything on the GoPro app. Like you could just do
Oh
everything
my
there.
God.
Oh
Because
yeah.
the he had a picture of, what's really popular too with those cameras is the one where the subject, or whether it's an animal or the person or whatever, is really clear and the
Mhm.
vibrant colors, and then everything behind them is kind of blurry, or everything around them is blurry. It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like, because I know, like with the iPhones, for example, I know that they have like I think it's called the portrait feature, where it just like focuses on you and
Yeah.
just blurs everything out in the background. Because I know iPhones do that now. I've never really like took pictures with my GoPro, because I've always just been focusing on
Right.
videos.
Video.
So,
Yep.
but I'm not sure if that's a GoPro feature. I'll have to take a look into that, and
Me
I
too.
will. Yeah, I'll let you know if I find out, or if you find out. I think we'll both figure something out here. It's kind of like, hey, it works. Or
I'm curious now.
I'll get a message from you, and you're like, hey, dude, it works. And I was like, all
Yeah,
right,
no
cool.
shit. Well, I'll just post some on our Instagram because we have these Hero 8 Blacks, right? The
Mhm.
GoPros. And like you said, I've never taken a picture with it unless it was on accident. So, you know, you know how the touchscreen, I was just talking to somebody else the other day and I was like, he said, I went to edit my video from my GoPro. He has a YouTube channel and he films everything from his iPhone and his GoPro. And he was like, I went to edit it and I didn't realize it was in slow motion. I said, oh, you probably swiped one of the ways because it's, the touchscreen, you up and down, left and right, it'll change, it's a quick change kind of feature to change modes or
Time
whatever.
lapse, didn't he?
Exactly. So,
Oh no,
now,
that happened. That actually that almost happened to my friend Joker. He I think he like on the like because he was when he came up to my field in Memphis, he was doing like this whole time lapse thing of him just driving up the road and everything like that.
gotcha.
And he was playing and he went to go start recording. He had to stop, turn it off, take the camera off, put it on video, put it back, all while in the middle of a game because he forgot to take it off time lapse.
Oh, Jesus.
But because I don't know if you've seen that's where that little joke came in with when he actually was in one I believe he was in my fourth Never a Dull Moment video where I made a joke about like, is it on time lapse? And he's like, don't jinx me.
Oh, I didn't see that part. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's typically like where a lot of my subscribers come from was like my funny videos and everything. That's where my never a dull moment series comes in.
Nice. Yeah, I saw a bunch of your shorts. I didn't actually watch your shorts. I watched some of the longer videos to kind of get an idea of, the editing and, what you were doing and that kind of thing. But, and then I saw that one with where you featured Soda because I had just done that podcast with her recently. So that's cool. I've, while I'm doing these podcasts with people, I'll learn while I'm talking to somebody just like this. I didn't know you knew Soda, or, reached out to her or had something like, connection with either playing or videos or whatever. And that's happened so many times on here because on Instagram, I'll see, oh yeah, this person liked, your post or this person liked but we all kind of follow each other, so I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So when I saw your video on there, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. I just did a podcast with her. Well, then when you posted the thing on your story, or maybe it was a post about us doing a podcast, then Tonka, call sign Tonka.
Oh, I love Tonka.
Bro.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
He messaged me the same day, like a couple hours later. It was like I was at work. He was like, hey man, when can we do a podcast? Because he goes, or no, he didn't ask me. He said, I love that dude, talking about you. So me and Tonka were supposed to do a podcast like a month ago. And something happened, we couldn't. And then I actually met him in person at GTI at Stonebreaker. And,
dude.
So I got a picture with them. I think it's on one of our posts on Instagram. Great dude. But anyway, so now we are doing a podcast Friday because of you and I doing a podcast today. And he was like, oh yeah, when are we going to do a podcast? We got to reschedule, He was like, I love this guy. I'm glad you're talking with him.
Dude, hey, shout out to Tonka, man. Like seriously. It was okay because for Third Coast, I've always ran tan. Like I've always been on tan, and I know Tonka has always been green.
Green.
So when I'm pretty sure Tonka was very happy when he saw that I switched from Western over to Eastern, and especially
Trader. What are you doing?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's because of my team. Okay, so I actually was the last time I played Tan was at Iron Dagger in November.
Gotcha.
Um, and that was at GTI, which was another reason why I had to do that one, because when I did Milsom West, it was also at GTI. It was at the Caspian Siege. So I told myself that I'm going to go back to GTI. I'm going to go back and do a Milsom West, and I'm going to actually complete it. But so I've been kind of gearing myself ready and doing a lot more Milsoms, and because I've been to, let's see, I've been to six Milsoms already since I've been back to since I started
That's only in
my
the last couple years, right?
yeah, that's within
Like a year and a half.
Yeah, year and a half, 6 Milsoms. Let's see, Bone Strike 5, Serious Viking 3, Iron Dagger, Bone Strike 6, and I just did Central Front 2, and that was my first American Milsim. And that one, if that was how American Milsim operates, I'm not a fan.
Really?
I like TCA. I all the staff from
Yeah.
Sal, from Snicks, all those guys. They're just oh, and Lucky. Lucky's probably one of my favorite admins. He's like a trip every time I hang out with that dude, and it's literally never a dull moment with that dude. He's a solid dude, and that's with any of the other TCA staff is that they like to make the game fun. I actually
Right.
have a story now. I know you've been doing your research, so I'm pretty sure you know about my best friend Sharkbait.
Shark bait.
Yes.
I
So
don't know. I only know the name. I didn't look into him.
so Sharkbait, he helps pretty much bring out the lightheartedness, the basic comedic side of my channel, because my channel's goal now is to really is to showcase the spirit of airsoft. Because I don't. That's why I don't focus on cheater videos. I don't focus on the badass
Good.
moments.
Good.
I focus on the funny stuff because the funniness is actually the true spirit of airsoft.
Right.
And that's what I focus on. And for some odd reason, I certainly didn't know what I was signing up for, because I attract all the stupid stuff every where I go. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you saw my last video my last little short that I posted from Missouri, where I got hit with a tagging round.
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, so
Well, let's pull it up.
yeah, if you, yeah, I was
Do
gonna
you know how to
say,
share your screen?
hold
Or I can
on,
do it.
so yeah, this was at The Rock up in Bolivar, Missouri. It's about we drove 5.5 hours here.
Okay. Yeah, let's listen to this one.
I was gonna say turn it up just a little
Is
bit.
that your GoPro?
Yeah, this is my GoPro.
Yep.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm okay.
Where did you get shot, bro?
Okay, so if you go to the very beginning,
Yeah.
I'll show you exactly where.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, just go to the very beginning. Let's see. Go ahead and play. Right across that ravine in that right over that way.
What was that?
They launched it across the side of that mountain or that ravine right there.
So
And
they
were
shot
on the
one
top.
already.
Yeah, they launched one already,
Yeah.
and I go and sit down, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Oh my god.
I took it directly to the chest.
I was just gonna say, where'd you get hit at? The chest?
Yeah, I got hit in the chest.
Holy shit, dude!
Yeah, that was. I guess
Did you have a
could
chest
say.
rig on?
Yeah, I had a plate carrier on.
Plate carrier, okay.
Yeah, I had a plate carrier. I mean, I had like, and what also sucked too is that I was carrying an M249. So
shit.
like I was. So yeah, I mean, I was already carrying a heavy weapon as is, but then all of a sudden that completely just made me knock over.
Was that a Reaper round? Like an explosive one?
I'm not sure. I know it was a tagging round. I can't remember exactly which one, but I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It was a Reaper.
Because it looked like it wasn't a chalk round.
Oh yeah, it wasn't a chalk round.
Smoke, yeah.
It was.
It obviously wasn't a dummy round.
It was. Yeah, it wasn't the pecker.
Yeah, that thing
it
sounded like it popped.
I was pretty deaf for a while. Like there's just nonstop.
Shit.
And I was looking at my 360 footage because I had all my cameras on because I had my 360 on my shoulder.
Yeah.
I looked at it from different angles, and there was another YouTuber with me. His name's Brem Airsoft. He said that there was smoke coming out of my mask, and I was like, "What? No." I thought he was literally was just talking shit, but
yeah.
but like no, like I look back and I look at like the different angle, and there's smoke coming out, and I was like, okay then, I mean it's just.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, and I go and I got back home Sunday like around 9:00. This happened Saturday in the morning time. Like I want to say Saturday, I think maybe it started at around 11. So I get home at like 9:00 at night, and I go in, take a shower, and I have this giant like. My chest is red, and I didn't even keep in mind I didn't even look at my chest after I got hit.
Right.
Yeah, I was just like, I just walked off. I was just like, it more or less.
You were stunned.
It spooked me more than anything.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until like I got home and I was like, oh geez, my chest hurts. And then I see that I have like a giant red mark on my chest, and like I was just like, oh. That must have been from the tag.
Oh my god.
And so then like later that day, I was like, all right, I got to get this footage and have to take a look at this. So I look at it and I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I caught this like on camera.
Right.
So I put it up on TikTok, and I think overnight like it got like I think like 10,000 views overnight.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it hasn't even been a week yet since I've done like it's only been like 4 days, and it's almost at 100,000 views now.
That's crazy, bro.
I was like,
where did this come from?
I know. I mean, but to be fair, I have another video on TikTok where I mean I don't post all that cringe dance trend things, whatever. I don't do any of that. I just no. I'm not gonna do it.
You need to be on there twerking, bro. Okay.
No, I gotta have ass for that, and that is something I do not have. I'm sorry. Sorry to burst your bubbles and hopes and dreams. But I post like a lot of like stupid, funny moments that I'll capture clips here and there, and I'll just put them up there. There's one video I just give my friend a shovel. I literally handed him a shovel. It's got about 150,000 views on TikTok, which is me just handing him a shovel.
That dude.
TikTok is weird. And
wild.
It's so funny. Soda will say the same thing. She's like TikTok is weird. Airsoft's weird. YouTube's weird. This thing called life is weird.
Oh yeah. Well, she's very analytical. Well, the thing is, she's super smart. That's the thing.
Oh yeah,
So,
she is.
oh yeah, big time. And
Yeah, she's like she is really awesome. I'm actually gonna be able to go on a Milsim with her, my very first Milsim with her, and meet her in person
yeah.
in November because we're going to GTI. We're gonna go for Iron Dagger 2.
Oh,
Um,
here in South Carolina
in South Carolina, yes.
in
I'm gonna be,
November.
in November, yes.
Oh, dude, I got to meet up with you guys.
Yeah, I think
GTI is 2 hours from my house.
oh yeah, because yeah, you're in South Carolina. Wait, is it
Yeah,
how far away? How far away are you from GTI?
2 hours.
Oh, okay. Well,
Bro,
I
I need
mean,
to drive down there and see you guys. Yeah,
yeah, most definitely. Because I think the other two YouTubers who were in that video with me, Hell Yeah and Joker Tactical, they're going to be at Iron Dagger as well. The only person that's not going to be there is Fez, and it's because he's obviously out in the UK.
right.
But he actually just surpassed 10,000 subs on YouTube. So he had
Nice.
he has like a huge Discord community
I'll
in
have to
there.
look these guys up. I don't think I follow these guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll link you into a lot of these guys because my another thing I enjoy doing is working with other content creators and other
For
YouTubers.
sure. Yeah, it's fun.
And that's exactly what I want to do is just to help expand because. And it's
Yep.
no offense to like the people like the bigger name guys like like Jet, Leah, and Alphonse and all those guys.
Right.
It's just like because I enjoy all their content. But it's just like I feel like the smaller channels need to also show that we support each other for us to if we want to even think about getting to a level like that. Which
Yeah.
if I get to that level, cool. If I don't, that's fine.
Yeah.
My whole thing is that I do this because airsoft is therapy. This is my therapy session, and it's also my workout as well. So it's like,
Right.
and I enjoy all the people I meet. It's a very no matter how people take it, airsoft is a wholesome community,
Oh,
and
it is.
we have our moments. Like with the cheaters and cheating and all that stuff like
Sure.
that. But that's anywhere that you go. That's any
Anything.
sport.
Right.
So, but like this has probably been a lot because 2 years ago, before I started really getting heavy into airsoft, I was engaged and it didn't work out. And it was also a long distance deal because she lived out in California. Yeah, she lived in California, and I'm
Gotcha.
here in Tennessee.
Right.
But
How did you guys meet?
she was a fan of the music. So
Yeah.
when we just started talking on Snapchat and everything like that. So my parents actually flew her down as a surprise. So she stayed in town with us for a week, and then
Yeah.
our first our first date that we went to, it was at the Botanical Garden, and we went and saw Lionel Richie.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we went and saw Lionel Richie live, and
Okay.
that was our first date.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was cool. But then once things kind of separated and everything like that, I kind of really fell into a deep depression, and I'm still battling with some of those issues currently. But like,
Yeah.
I focus so much on airsoft and the people that I have in my life through airsoft. It's just I'm not used to this because when I was in music, it was basically like it was a fish eats fish world type
Yeah.
deal.
Dog eat dog world.
Dog
Really.
dog eat dog,
Right.
basically.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna
And
say. Yeah, that's like every man for himself kind of thing.
exactly. And then so with all that, I'm not used to being involved with such a wholesome community as it
And
is.
supportive.
It's super supportive. And
Yeah.
what's funny enough is that when I started doing YouTube, I took the elements from what I learned in marketing from the music, like learn how to promote,
Right.
for other artists and for stuff and producers and whatnot. I applied that algorithm to YouTube, and it's worked fantastic. And I was just like,
Yeah.
and then I started having conversations with, you know, and start traveling a lot more, like conversations with other big businesses, with other big YouTubers and everything like that. So it was weird because I was like, in music, this would take so long, but really this,
Right.
with this community that we're in, it took no time at all. Like,
Yeah.
you know, because, you know, when, like, for example, you know, like when I talk to other people who want to get into what I do with YouTube, one of the questions I got was like, how do I get sponsored? Like, what do I do for sponsorships?
Yeah.
And the one thing I said to people is, don't go in there with the attitude of saying, hey, I want free stuff, gimme, gimme, gimme. Like, that's not how it works. You actually have to build character and relations with these big guys, you know, like the head of the companies,
Right.
to even consider, you know, and plus they have to at least like your content of what you're posting, you know, and even because like they don't want any bad apples represented from them, because, you know, that's like, hey, we love you, but it's bad business, bud.
Yeah. No, I mean,
And
it's just like anything else. Like, you know, yeah, it's people, you got to put in the work no matter what. Like,
exactly.
there, you know, nowadays with online, with, you know, you can do a lot of short videos and get a big following right away. So it is more streamlined than 50 years ago, where you had to go door to door, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to announce your, you know, if you didn't want to spend money on like newspaper ads. I mean, you do, you still got to do some work. If you try to get a sponsor, I think Airsofter Sam and I were talking about this just a couple weeks ago. You know, she gets the same question because her and her team are sponsored, you know, and that kind of thing. So the number one question, well, how do I get a sponsor? Well, I want to get this and I want to get that, you know. And I think they have, and she even said this in the podcast, a lot of people have this kind of, you know, I guess the wrong idea about sponsorship in airsoft, especially, where they think they're gonna, you know, get all this stuff and do very little work. And we were both like, you have to, like, why would that company want to sponsor you? Think of that first. So what do you have to offer? Because if they look online, right, and you have, you know, just started Instagram 2 weeks ago with 100 followers, and your posts are really crappy, right? Your pictures are like, you know, junk in the background, and you're taking a picture of like a, you know, dirty old, you know, Springer pistol. Okay.
It's like, and plus
yeah.
your camera quality is about as good as a potato.
I mean, for real, like you gotta understand how this thing works. So I think a lot of people think, oh, a sponsorship, I'm going to go play airsoft and I'll just film whatever. I don't even have to put any work in. I'll just film, and it could be shit quality. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter how I edit. And they're going to pay me 50 grand a year to play because they're going to spot, you know, because I play airsoft. Like, bro,
I need to find that company like ASAP.
you know, yeah,
you know,
there's
I mean, like making, you know, an extra 50 grand a year just for airsoft. Hell yeah, dude.
Well, you know, that was, I think a lot of younger people growing up in this age of TikTok videos, where they see somebody gets, you know, 1 million views on a video, they think, oh my God, they're probably rich because they got 1 million views on a video. Like, bro, they're not even monetized. Okay. So,
oh my gosh. Yeah. Cause like that is the hardest thing right now is with, you know, that's one thing I wish YouTube would kind of, you know, and even, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, is that, you know, we understand that our community is pretty realistic, you know, except for the things we shoot. That's the only thing that is not real. But other than that, like, if I were to show somebody who doesn't know what airsoft is, I can have the Dean's battery sticking, or I have a Dean wire sticking out the side of my 249, and they'll just be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that? Like Afghanistan or something? Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and it's just like, but still, when it comes down to all that, it's the best thing somebody ever told me was that you can't get something for nothing.
Yeah,
And
100%.
it's just like, I work really hard with the content that I put out there because I my favorite YouTuber is Storm. Storm's just posts like his thing is the unfunny moments, is what he calls it, but it's his funny moments videos.
Gotcha.
But it's the stupidity of it. It's the sense of humor that he has the same as me and my friends, and he's showcasing the stupid side of airsoft, like the wholesome stupid side. And that's what I want to capture because that's not captured enough, honestly, in airsoft, in my opinion. I have nothing wrong with people like doing like, the badass moments like in a helicopter and just with the 249 and just
For sure.
killing thoughts left and right, just all that, just going complete alphons. But that's cool and all, and I'll enjoy it every now and then. But like, the real side of airsoft is when you like really cracking up with people you've never met in your entire life. Like you're on the floor crying, and just completely seeing all the stupid. Like I had a video that I'll send to you as well, but it's we were at the Rock this past weekend, and there's these people. It's just the only person I knew was Brim. Like it was me, Brim, and then another member of my team, because we didn't know anybody at this field.
Gotcha.
And we go up there. I just walk in with people and everything, and they're just being so friendly. They're just greeting and everything like that. And even and this was actually kind of cool too, seeing this at this particular field, that if you were getting overshot, like like getting I'm hit, just trying to wave your hand up and just be like, stop shooting me, and then like I'll literally hear the enemy player who shot me. He is literally screaming on top of his lungs. He's like, "Dude, I'm sorry. I love you, man." Like they were just so cool. Like, and then I had a incident where a guy threw a grenade in one of the buildings I was in. So I drew my pistol out because I was just like, okay, I got to learn how to transition from my primary to my secondary, because that was my first time actually using my secondary, like, or transitioning from primary to secondary. So I pull out my pistol and he sees me. So I duck around the corner and like into the other room, and I just see his gun and his glove. Like, so I shot the glove, but he's still shooting. So I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I just shot the knuckle. And he just had like one of those like Vulcan gloves that protects the knuckles and everything. So, and the thing is, he moved in and then kept on moving around, but then his whole body's exposed. So I lit him up with the Glock. Like, I'm putting like 5 or 6 rounds on him, and he's still moving. And I'm just like, I'm thinking to myself,
was this the video where you told the guy, "Hey, I shot you in the side"?
No, no, that was
okay.
no.
Okay.
That was my guy, Overwatch. He's on. Yeah, he's on my team, because we have like over 30 members in our team.
Gotcha. Well, not to interrupt, but go ahead with your story with the other guy. I didn't want to.
Trust me. Look, I could talk for days and everything like that, but I'll always find a way to jump right back into it.
Cool.
But yeah, so he says hit, and he was walking out the room, but as soon as he says hit, but his whole body's exposed, I shot him, and he was like, hit. I was just like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, we both had our hands up, just going like this. We're just like, dude, I'm sorry.
Hey, it's cool.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. But it was such a wholesome moment, like, because the dude even said, I don't know why he said this, but he says, dude, did you lose your mag? Because I looked at my gun and I was just like, no. Like, because I mean, it's a gas blowback, so it's like I have to have it in the gun in order for me to shoot you.
Right.
And he goes like, dude, you drop your mag? Like, it kind of like threw me off. I was like, wait, is he trying to distract me or something?
Right.
But he was
You
just
didn't
like,
see it or what?
yeah, but no, he was just like, dude, I just got overwhelmed. I'm sorry, but we were just both apologizing. It was almost like we were Canadian for a second.
Yeah, I mean, one sorry is okay. After that, come on now.
Yeah, I mean, no, but we were both doing this because it was in the heat of
Right,
battle,
right.
because like I get like, yeah, one sorry is good enough. It's like, all right, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
But
but in
like
the
if
heat of it, you're like, whoa, 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 okay, okay.
sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I'm just like that because it's like, one, I want you to know, like, obviously I'm sorry, and two, I'm just like, I don't want you to be mad at me because I put like 5 or 6 more BBs after you said you were hit. I'm trying
You
to
know
make it
what's
clear.
I think a lot of people though, when you first went to your first meal sim, right?
Hmm.
Not that long ago, right? As far
Right.
as compared to how long you've been playing airsoft,
Yeah.
did you have this expectation that you would have these moments where people would get pissed off because you overshot them, or the cheater kind of stuff because of the videos that are kind of promoted over the years on with all that's like that's mostly what everyone sees?
Well, okay, so for
Or did you
me,
have a different expectation from going from what you were playing to milsim?
well, really with my expectations was it, especially from like going to my first milsim, like it was definitely an eye opener. Like Milsim West was an eye opener for sure.
Well,
Like
that's true. Yeah, that
yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
good one.
yeah, like that.
Yeah,
I jumped right into the deep end for my first one, and
right.
I felt like I should have prepared myself a little bit more.
Now, what,
Um,
I guess going back to that, so what was it? Did you run out of stuff? Did you not take enough gear? What was it that made you not be able to, go what was it, 40 hour
Yeah, it was a 49
continuous?
hour, 40 hour nonstop. Okay, so basically what happened was I started not feeling good.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Both me and my brother, and plus this is when things were started opening up from the pandemic. So I didn't know if this was
Gotcha.
a COVID related
Hmm.
situation.
You and your
Um,
brother play? You guys both went there together?
yeah, so this was both me and my baby brother's very first Milsim. So,
Gotcha.
in my head, I'm just like, oh, this is going to be great. But, as soon as it started, because we started at night, we started in the far woods behind GTI.
Yeah.
We started over there because of course, to make matters even worse, we decided to go as NATO. So we were like
What does that mean? I mean, like,
so
why is that worse?
well, okay, so because all right, from my understanding, NATO is more hardcore, like the fact, like as far as like what team you're on, because
Oh, okay.
because Rust 4 and Militia, to my understanding, and I believe Soda had also said this to me as well. I'm pretty sure Soda will correct me if I'm wrong, but um, that Rust 4 and Militia are a lot more laid back, and the fact that they work together versus NATO is just by themselves.
Oof.
And they were already in the power plant. Some of those guys were just taking naps while we were just running out there and just hearing monkey noises from Militia just lighting
Oh
us up.
my God.
Yeah,
Oh, that's crazy.
it was. I wasn't expecting all that. I mean, I was doing my research obviously because they were using they used blank firing rounds
Yeah.
and all that. So my brother wasn't particularly a fan of that because it was just like this is a little too real.
Oh shit. That's
But
funny.
yeah, um so but from Third Coast, Bone Strike 5, that was like the first one I was able to complete. That was like my better understanding and getting into the world of Milsim, to be
Yeah.
honest. My expectations, they definitely were met. As far as like just um, the player base, I've honestly never really dealt with that many cheaters. Well,
Right.
except for AMS's Central Front 2.
Gotcha.
That one right there, that was, I mean, that was probably the worst Milsim I've ever been to.
Hmm.
And
Because of
there was,
that.
well, there was so much to it because at Central Front 2, Blind Man was called every 5 minutes. So I'm in a,
jeez.
yeah, oh, I know, it was annoying. Like, we hardly, it literally like was like an hour or two before we actually got a chance to start playing. And
So
then
explain
as,
that because when I went to this is my first meal sim at Stonebreaker, I
um,
wasn't even playing, and I heard Blind Man like the first hour that they start playing. I'm like, what? Who's calling that already? So why don't you explain what that is if somebody doesn't know, if they've never been to a meal sim,
right,
and
right.
what happened with that or why there were so many?
Okay. So blind man is when you are is a real world emergency. I know. I believe it's also used in the military as well. I think.
Not when I was in, but I was in an '89, so
Okay,
okay,
fair enough. Fair
who
enough.
knows?
Right. I don't know if it's a
Yeah.
current, but I have
All
seen.
we learned how to yell was medic. Okay.
Okay, fair. That is fair. Okay, so when blind man's called, we take a knee and we also holler blind man for the other players to saying, hey, you know, we
So the
have a
whole
real,
game, so the whole game stops,
yeah, the whole
or at
game's on
least in that
pause.
area, right?
No, it's for the entire AO. The
Right.
whole AO
Okay.
is called for blind man. Whether
Gotcha.
it's GTI or Guardian Center, like that whole field is on lockdown until the danger's over.
Okay. So
So
what causes a blind man, or what is blind man?
okay, so basically, like for example, blind
Why
man
would you
being
call it?
like for an example, like you shoot your eye out, blind man. So like your goggles come off, or you may have twisted an ankle, something like that. Just like it's any type of real world emergency. If you are if you're about to pass out, like I've seen it happen where somebody I call blind man because a dude literally had passed out uh from I forgot. I don't know if that was at Guardian Center or if it was at GTI. I can't remember, but somebody had called a blind man because they were overheated and it was
Yeah.
really like I'm talking. He was pale red, and it was. I think it was at Guardian Center. I think yeah, believe it was Guardian Center.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, like it was bad. So any type of real world emergency, you see something that's just out of place like that, it's kind of like, that's I don't think your skin should be that pink, or that purple. It's kind of like that. There's something wrong here.
Yeah.
But that it's stuff like that. Now, from Bone Strike 6, the last Bone Strike I went to, somebody I called a blind man, and it was literally the last minute of Phase 4. So this was literally the heat of the very last battle
Yeah.
for the event.
Like the end push. Like this
Exactly.
is yeah.
Somebody calls a blind man, and when we found out, and then I captured the admin what he said about what he was called a blind man for. He's like, that grenade hurt. We were so
Oh,
mad, and then
bro.
the dude was, and then the admin he was mimicking him. He goes like, that grenade hurt. I bet your pussy does too.
Like,
I was
dude,
like,
what?
yeah, it was all on my my last never a dull moment video because I captured a lot of like my friend Hell Yeah said it best is like I just have this natural ability just to capture non-dull moments whenever I go
Nice.
to any field, any event, any milsim. Like I always capture it, and I don't know why. But
Yeah.
this is honestly what I signed up for because I wanted to capture the spirit and the lightheartedness of our hobby. And I've had people even mimic or had said that I was copying Storm, in which that's not the case. I've always said that
Oh, I gotcha.
he's an inspiration, and
Right.
I've always given him credit. I actually had a conversation with him, and he was just like, dude, forget all that noise. You keep doing you. It's
Right.
like he's on the same mission as I am, and I didn't even realize it. I just thought, he's just capturing funny moments, which he does. They're naturally funny people, but he also captures the real spirit of it, and that's when he realized it. But and that's kind of like what I want to do is I want to just really focus on doing that because the world's toxic already as is. I don't want to
Sure.
see any toxic content for my community in Airsoft, which I know it's going to happen, but
Yeah.
I typically avoid that at all costs and any type of confrontations and everything like that. I'm
Right.
just like, I'm easy to get along with. I'm an approachable dude. Because I had some kids from the field that I play at. They'll see my YouTube patches and they're just like, "Are you Myster OT?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then like they'll treat me like a celebrity, and I'm just like, "Dude,
That's wild.
But one of the coolest things that day was one of the kids actually started a YouTube channel, and he says, "I started it because of you," and that made my day. Just hearing that, and then also we were on opposite teams, and then he was like, "Man, I'm going up against him. I'm kind of nervous." But what was so funny was he was the one that was killing me the whole day.
I was gonna say he probably felt good if he shot you.
Oh, dude, he goes, he let it be known. He goes like, "I got you, OT. I got you." And I'm just like, I just give him a thumbs up, and I'm just like, "Good job," because that's even goes with going into Milsims. It's like giving that type of assurance or that what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, the good sportsmanship to another player, saying like, "Oh, hey, that was a good hit." Whether it's from your own team or even from the opposing team, that really goes a long way for that player. And I kind of really wish that it's kind of done more because whenever I get hit, like I'm always just like, "Hey, good shot," I'm just like, I'm always, you'll always,
respect.
yeah, you'll always see me with a thumbs up. Like I'm just giving them a thumbs up every time. That's how it's done because,
Sure.
because you never know what that player is going through. Nobody knows what I'm going through. It's just kind of like, I enjoy making people's day, and I don't want to ruin anybody else's fun because if, everybody's not having fun. Let's see, we're not having fun if nobody's having fun, and if everybody's not having fun,
Right.
So I just want to just focus on that aspect and do what I can. And
Well, it shows. It shows in your videos and your Instagram.
I do what I can, and and even for my teammates now, because I actually in November I became the co-founder for Ludus Rag Memphis chapter.
I'm glad you just brought that up because I was going to ask you about your team. Because when I looked it up on your profile on YouTube, the About section, I was like, Ludus? I wonder if they meant to say Lotus,
Yeah,
I'd never
no,
heard of Ludus.
yeah.
So I looked it up, and I looked up Rag, and I was like, oh, shit, that's Latin. Okay. So explain that, the team name, and then how you became a part of it, because I am curious.
Okay, so Ludus is Latin for the it's School of Gladiators, and Rag. I'm still trying to remember.
Well, I think the first two, I couldn't figure out the G, but the RA, I don't know I can't remember how it's pronounced or whatever it says in Latin, but it's something go with courage, something like that.
Yes. Okay. So actually, let me actually go grab my team patch. I'll be right back.
Hell yeah.
So you have Revike Aminios.
That's it.
I am probably butchering the hell out of it.
That's okay.
But it means recover your courage. And Bear Norman, who is the co-founder of Ludus Rag in general, he said that quote to him is very important. And so that's why we have. And one thing I love about our patches is the meaning behind it, because you have the gladiators to the side. One is a representation for Milsim, and the other is a representation for field play. Is that we accept both, like people who go to Milsims, and then but we also accept those who are just like they just want to play at your local field, because
the open field or the open day fields or open field days or whatever they do.
Yeah, exactly. The ones who just either just choose not to travel or just cannot travel in general. And so, because we found that very important. We want to keep that aspect because that's how you really grow. That's actually how the team has really grown.
Sure.
And I'm still learning more about this because we just start because I was originally part of the River Rats until November, and um, when we decided just kind of just go our separate ways, and I still have love for them. Just kind of wanted to focus on what is best for me and for my teammates, for Red and Sharkbait. Wanted to focus on what's best for the three of us, and we want to expand. And that's when they're just like, hey, we have a Nashville chapter, we have a New York City chapter, we have a chapter out in Pennsylvania. So it's like we might as well just go ahead and just start a Memphis chapter. So, and then it started off with me, Red, and Sharkbait, and we're just hopefully trying to expand and just kind of see how our team grows, because we don't want to just we don't want to make it difficult for people to join, but at the same time, we don't want it to be like anybody can be a part of it.
Right.
It's like it's that's one thing that we wanted to want to
You got to
do.
do a little bit of work to get on a team.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
no matter what team you want to be a part of, anything in life, whether it's sports or at work. If you're at work and you start out in a factory as a packer, packing boxes,
Yeah.
and you want to be on the team of, a machine operator, you got to do some work. Like, you got to prove that you know something or could do this, or look at your attendance, or, you got to do some work to prove yourself. Sports team, obviously everybody knows, you got to, well, maybe not
Qualifications.
nowadays with, the younger kids, everyone's a part of the team, but
Yeah.
they used to have tryouts, okay, when I was growing up. So, but it's professional sports, college sports, that kind of thing. And of course, a lot of people I've talked with in the last few months that have their own milsim team, well, airsoft team in general, but
Right.
especially milsim team, they make it hard to get to, because they, if they have, especially if they have sponsors, a team that has some bigger name sponsors, they want to make sure they know this person that's joining their team, because they don't want a bunch of shit posts on Instagram. They don't want a bunch of, whatever that's going to, so you got to have character. You got to be able to do some work, prove that you show up to a milsim with all your gear. You're not the one that, everyone has to supply a bunch of shit to, right?
Yeah, we all know that one guy that we
and you're not the guy that's calling blind man on the field when a grenade goes off by you and it's too loud. Okay.
Yeah, and literally, you had to call a blind man on that the very last minute, the last 60 seconds, and it was intense. It was probably it was the craziest, because so this was at so Bone Strike 6 was at River State Prison and out in Georgia. And this place it started off as an insane asylum, and then it was again converted into a prison.
Fucking great combination, okay?
Oh, totally.
Oh my God. What is this, Arkham?
And dude, this place, it will give you the heebie-jeebies. I went because at first you actually will kind of get an idea from it if whenever you kind of take a look at if you saw my last Bone Strike video, but those tunnels, it was.
I haven't seen it yet. I'll look at it.
It was pyro heaven. Like, I'm talking all I gotta say is thank God for earmores. Oh my God,
Yeah.
they just saved my eardrums over and over, because I'm seeing players like they're in a fetal position going like this, and
trying to
and then, because the last let's see, Bone Strike 5, they had kept on getting noise complaints from the people across the street, and one of them. One of the guys who was complaining was a military vet who is battling with PTSD.
Gotcha.
So so that's why at Bone Strike 5 they did not allow any pyro for that event. So when they heard, so it was just like, we understand, but it's kind of like it was a big disappointment. But it actually it was a really intense gameplay because we weren't relying on grenades just to clear out a room.
Gotcha.
We actually
Yeah.
had to go in there, like some real CQB action. I mean, it was great. And then, but yeah, like at Bone Strike 6, everybody was it was grenade heaven. Like they were just throwing grenades like nonstop at people, like tagging's just going on, but yeah, it was it was an awesome experience, and that was the conclusion for the Bone Strike series, but they're going to return there, but it's going to be revived as Bone Crusher, is what it's going to be
Nice.
called, and it's going to implement vehicles like helicopters, Humvees, and all
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Because I did that. That was actually my first helicopter experience was at Third Coast. I got to shoot people from a helicopter, and it was fantastic.
You got the helicopter ticket? Got on there?
Yes, I did that, but I did that at Guardian Center. I didn't get a chance to do it at GTI.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I don't know if you've ever been to Guardian Center, but it's
No.
Oh my gosh, that is like every airsofter's like dream to go to.
I've been to 2 airsoft fields in 3 years. Airsoft Columbia, which is a kind of a smaller CQB indoor field that's here in Columbia, South Carolina. It's about an hour and a half from us.
Okay.
And then this MilSim at GTI. So I've never been to any other field. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because this year alone, I think this year alone, I've already traveled to I've traveled for one MilSim, but as far as like for out of town events, I've probably been to like 10 or 11 events altogether.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah.
So
once you got into your first MilSim, you were like, okay, MilSim West kicked my ass, but it ain't gonna happen again. I'm gonna get work. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get experience and go to these other ones. So obviously you were hooked after that first one, even if it was painful.
it
got
was
into
brutal.
it and like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Because that's a lot of events in like a year and a half. These guys have been to 10 in 3 years. And, so of course, COVID, we started our channel and they started playing it in 2019. So for that whole year, they really couldn't do, any events.
And that's funny because I started doing airsoft like in 2020, like before COVID. Like and I'm talking, it's like, man, did I certainly pick an awesome hobby to get into when all this stuff just started happening.
Right.
Oh man. But it was, but I'm glad that everything's just like is back to normal. And I say that in quotations.
I know.
But, because I've had it twice. And I mean, it's just like, it's at this point, it's like, it's whatever. I mean, I'm over it.
Right. Yeah. I think most people are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
People are ready to get out of their house or get out, just get out and start doing stuff that they were doing before,
Yeah. It's just like, the thing is, it's like, if only they could just, only if they could just work, because it's like, it blows my mind that there is so much for help, like help wanted, like literally every business I've been seeing is just all over. Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm just like,
no, they all went and started OnlyFans pages and are making more money than working. So nobody can hire anybody.
Yeah, I guess so. It's like, yeah, and it's funny. Like, I have friends who do OnlyFans, and I'm just like, I've told them, I was like, you have no idea how jealous I am right now.
No shit.
For real. Yeah, because like they're just at home. You get to make up your own schedule and everything. It's like,
have you seen those try-on haul videos?
Girls
do the try-on. So it's called a try-on. Like, they try on bikinis, right? But they call it a try-on haul, right?
Mm-hmm.
And HAUL.
Yeah.
So these try-on haul videos, it's with, the most popular ones are bikinis and lingerie, but they also have the ones with, regular clothes and shit, but it's mostly geared, it's mostly women doing them. Well, I haven't seen any guys doing them, but there probably are. But you know, it's the popular ones are the women doing them, and they'll have 1 million views in like a week or 2 weeks after the video's up. But most of their, you know, views are from guys, of course. So
Yeah, I mean it's very, very clear.
obvious. So
A lot of thirsty dudes, a lot of thirsty, confused dudes.
well, I mean, I think this is a product. Well, that's a normal thing anyway. You know, just baseline, but also a product of like what we're talking about, where
Right.
you know everyone's shut in for a year and a half, or depending on what state you're in America, maybe longer. You know, if you're in California, you know, go fuck yourself because you're like, where can I go for 2 years? You know,
Exactly.
because they're so like communist. You know, a lot of our viewers are and friends of mine live in California. Are like, bro, this is getting to be some bullshit. They're ready to move out of there. You know, but yeah, these people are tired of being stuck in, so they're watching YouTube and TikTok apparently. So
Yeah.
of you handing a shovel to your brother, you know, that's popular.
Yeah, it's literally just like, this is all it was. Like, I'm just in my gear. I point my gun at him. I was like, get out. And he was like, you got anything for fishing? And I'm like, nope. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Here you go. And he goes like, oh yeah, just like it just walks off with it. That's it. And it's almost at 200,000 views on TikTok. And I'm like, I'm literally just so confused with all this because, like, I mean, a lot of my friends were saying, like, dude, I was dying laughing for like 30 minutes. Like, you had me crying on the floor. I was like, I literally just handed him a shovel.
Like,
We were
bro,
just being
wasn't that funny?
I'm just like, what the?
You know what's weird though? When you film something, when you guys do something, especially if you know with somebody you know, you have those inside jokes, you have that just the normal banter that goes on. You know, like if you work with somebody all the time, or you're obviously like your brother or somebody you play airsoft with. You know, the way I talk with me and my older sons, well, all my kids really, but we joke back and forth. When somebody comes over and they hear that, like, it's all normal to us. Like, we're not even laughing. We're just being, total smart asses, total sarcastic, and they're laughing at it. And we're like, that wasn't even funny, So because we've been doing that so long.
I mean, like, to kind of give you, like, me and Sharkbait's sense of humor is almost like, Gotham's Joker, like, just stuff like that. It's insane, because it's like we understand each other. It's
right.
The most idiotic, stupid shitpost humor that you see on the internet, and it's kind of like, why is this picture just blurry? But yet you see me and Sharkbait, we're just like dying laughing. It was like only we get it, and if I were to show somebody, it was like, this isn't even funny, but we're just dying laughing. It's the best thing, because it's like it's almost like me and him have like our own like language, and it's like we understand each other. But
that's camaraderie.
Oh, absolutely, and and he's somebody that I'm very proud to call a brother. Like even like, and we've only known each other. Excuse me. We only known each other since like I started my channel, and I've told him, like, if it wasn't for him being in my videos, like he's been in every Never a Dull Moment video, and I said if it wasn't for him, like I don't know where the channel would be without him. And my friend Brim, he was like, he says, I really want to see Sharkbait. Where's Sharkbait? Because we've been me and Brim has been at 2 events together. And Sharkbait was supposed to be with us. And he was never able to go. And he was like, man, I really want to meet Sharkbait.
Yeah.
Like they really want to meet him. And I've always told him, I was like, dude, like you got a bigger fan base than I do, and I'm the one with the YouTube channel.
Oh, that's funny, dude. Well, listen, man, it's been really nice talking with you and meeting you.
Yeah, man.
I have a question before we leave.
Okay.
So you used to do rap,
Hmm.
right? Not for long, but enough to where you were kind of getting exposed. Did you like doing it, and do you like doing it now? Do you do it in your spare time? Do you like find it kind of like when you're walking around the house or you're at work or whatever you're doing, you kind of pick up these tunes and you start kind of these words start coming in your head. You start rapping in your own head. Do you ever do that?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. That part of me is no more. Like
Gotcha.
as soon as I transitioned to airsoft and started being a YouTuber, I let all that go because I
It doesn't
had
even
fun.
pop in your head or whatever.
No, it doesn't. Like, I'll still listen to, a lot of my friends because I have a lot of friends who do music. So it's like I'm still going to be supportive of them.
Yeah.
And this is an advice that I'm going to give to not only just other YouTubers or content creators, but to artists as well. While y'all guys are trying to figure out ways to blow up, y'all should really start working together because people want their music heard, and at the same time, the content creators also are trying to get out there as well. So it's like, oh, hey, this guy used my song in his video or whatnot, and it was like a badass compilation of him just shooting around and everything.
Yeah.
I've tried to preach that, but only a few people have actually done that for me and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't do it anymore. I've had fun, but it's time that
Well,
I
I was trying to get you to do a little rap for us on here.
oh gosh, yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Something that maybe
That's not,
you've done recently, like, hey man, I'm just doing the laundry and it's just popped in my head and I'm just
oh
singing it,
no, I'm telling you,
something
man,
to do with
like
airsoft, okay? Because I was talking to so listen, I was talking to Airsofter Sam, and she actually went to college for, I can't remember what it's called, music business maybe, but
music business management.
yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, during our conversation, I was like, well, hey, maybe you'll, be able to sponsor or promote or, be what do you call it? Like a promoter or something?
A promoter, a manager, associate, like
Manager,
our
right.
assistant.
Be
Yeah.
a manager for an airsoft rapper one
Oh
day.
my gosh,
And I swear to
that's
God, yesterday when I saw your thing, I was like, this is the guy, Airsoft Raptor.
oh my
I mean, Airsoft,
god.
yeah, Rapper.
This is
Sorry.
something. Oh my gosh! If I'll tell you what, if you know what, if Airsoft Sam, if she wants to reach out or whatnot, maybe we'll figure something out and just get it, and we'll finagle it or something. I don't know.
I would
We'll
love for somebody to come up with some raps about some airsoft stuff like mill sims or, gameplay, like the cheater stuff, or, like mix it all in.
well,
It'd be
okay.
cool. It'd be
I
cool.
think like I'm gonna tell you this. I'm you need to talk to Hell Yeah Airsoft because he's a DJ.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, he actually knows how to really scratch records, like for
Oh
real.
shit. Yeah, I would like to. All right.
Yeah, I'll give you his information and everything like that, and any
I'll reach
other,
out to him.
yeah, or any other person that I've done work with or whatnot. Like I know that would be perfect for y'all to talk to and everything. But Hell Yeah is definitely is a real cool laid back dude, and but he definitely knows how to scratch some records. I've seen him do it personally.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for being on, man. It was really great, good to meet you. Great hearing your story and where you came from and how you got in airsoft and your milsim experience where you quit the first one. It's okay. We'll forgive you. And,
Soda.
I'm sure,
Excuse me,
I'm
sorry, I
sure,
had something in my throat.
I'm sure, Soda, forgave you already. It's fine. But, you made a comeback with it for sure with doing all those other events. So it's been
Right.
good.
Absolutely, and I would be more than happy to come back here and do something to give you an update in the future.
That is awesome. All right, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man.
Have a good night.
You too, dude.